Attention. This is a special report. Little children, this is a special report about faith that's real. Faith that's real is very difficult to find in the simulation today. Faith that's real is something that's as precious, that's as rare as gold. It is indeed more precious and rare than gold or any other metal in the earth. Faith. Your enemy has created a cloud of confusion when it comes to the subject of faith. Little children, faith was hijacked. Constantine hijacked the faith using the Bible. He invented this device in order to hijack your faith. Now, what is faith? Faith is the ability to hear God's voice. Out of 7 billion spirits who are currently in a body in this digital simulation, less than 1% out of 7 billion have faith that's real. Less than 1% of today's population has the ability to hear God's voice. You say, how can that be? We have Christians and we have Muslims. You have Hindus and you have Jews and you have Buddhists. You have Sikhs. How can they not have faith? Isn't faith just a belief? Faith, little children, is not just a belief. But faith is the ability to hear God's voice. It's the ability to recognize the sound of truth and love. Faith is not based on what the eyes can see. Faith is not based on what the eyes can read. But faith is based on the hearing of one's heart. And if the heart cannot hear the sound of the Creator who made the stars, then that person does not have faith. Because out of 7 billion spirits who currently inhabit a body, you have 2 billion plus of them who have their faith in a book called the Bible. And instead of hearing for the voice of King Jesus, the voice of truth, they're just hearing for the script of King James. You have 1.8 billion who worship the Quran, and they only hear Muhammad. You have the Gita and the Veda worshippers. You have the Sikh religion and the Buddha worshippers. None of them are hearing for the voice of the Spirit who made the stars. That's why faith today is very rare, little children. Faith that's real is virtually nowhere to be found. and the primary culprit behind the killing of faith is the Bible, the biggest idol in human history. Little children, you have to hear the Creator. Little children, the Creator has a living voice. The Creator is not a storybook, and the Creator does not speak through a script. But because of the Bible, which is an idol, virtually no one today has faith. Little children, I'm telling you the truth. If you want to have faith that's real, you have to have the ability to hear the voice of truth. The real Jesus is not in a book, but he has a voice. Jesus of eternity is not in a script, but he's in the Spirit. And he's telling you now that if you're going to have faith, if you're going to hear his voice, you have to turn from the book of the dead. You have to close the mark of the beast. And you have to get out of the script and get into the Spirit. Now, what is the purpose of faith? We have to have faith, because if we do not have faith, little children, how can we recognize the Creator? If I cannot hear the Creator's voice, if I cannot recognize his Spirit, then when I leave my body, I will be lost. And because of the idol called the Bible, Yeshua's telling you that he's going to destroy this place, because faith that's real is virtually nowhere to be found. And he wants you to have faith that's real, little children. And he's telling you the Bible is not the voice of the Creator, but the Bible is an idol. The Bible is the mark of the beast, and the Bible is the book of the dead. And he's telling you faith was hijacked. If you're looking to a book instead of to your heart, then you've been hijacked. If you're looking to a script that's memorized in your head instead of the Spirit, then you've been hijacked. And he's telling you, look for him in the Spirit. He speaks with a living voice, little children. In my personal walk with the living Jesus, this is faith that's real. This is the only way you can know that there is a voice of truth. He would tell me to leave my earthly job. I did not leave my earthly job because of the statistics that the economists were giving out, but I left my earthly job because Jesus told me to leave. I didn't leave my earthly job because I found a better paying job, but I left that job because the voice of truth told me to leave that job. Little children, that's faith, that's real. One time, the voice of truth, the living Jesus, he told me to go on a 40-day fast. Now, I didn't go on that 40-day fast because it was a tradition or because that's what I did in conjunction with a Bible church, because a Bible preacher told me to go on a fast. But I went on that fast because the living Jesus told me to fast. Little children, that's faith, that's real. The living Jesus told me to leave the Bible temple that I was attending. And I did what the voice of truth said do. Little children, that's faith, that's real. That's faith that will last forever. If your faith is in the Bible, then you will only last for as long as that Bible lasts. And the Bible, little children, it does not have a mouth to speak. It does not have eyes to see. It does not have ears to hear. If your faith is in the Bible, you don't have faith that's real. Now, when it comes to hearing the voice of Jesus, he'll speak to us in dreams, in our meditations and prayers. Oftentimes, we'll have to be in an altered state of consciousness. Sometimes we'll have to be in an altered state. They call that getting into a trance. For the Spirit that made the stars cannot speak directly to our body, but the Spirit speaks to our heart. And little children, that's what faith is. Faith is of the heart. Faith that's real, little children, is faith that's of the heart. Faith that's real is not faith that's in a book. Faith that's real is not based on a script, but faith that's real is based on the Spirit of life. And I'm telling you, in 2011, little children, the living Jesus, when he regenerated me, he told me that the faith was hijacked. But before I was given that by the voice of truth, here's faith that's real, because I was searching for him, because I was feeling empty on the inside and I didn't know why. I had this passion and I had this enthusiasm and excitement when I was first made alive and touched by him in 2004. And I felt that something was dying out, but I couldn't explain it. And in 2011, he told me something was missing. And he told me, as I was seeking him, and he told me that something was missing. And I was seeking him because I won't have faith if I go by something I can see with my eyes. I knew that that's not faith, that's real. He told me something was missing. Little children, he was talking to me one day, and he told me, you know that I'm talking to you right now. And I said, yes, you're talking to me. Well, don't you know that I healed a man one day, you read about him, named Bartimaeus. And you know I'm right here. You know I'm not in the book. And I said, wait a minute. That's right. When you were in the flesh, as Jesus the Jew, you were in the vicinity. And the blind man Bartimaeus, he heard about you, and he knew that you were there. And he just heard about stories, about how you were performing miracles. I remember, yes, I remember that now real clearly. And he told me, well, why don't you do that? Why aren't you hearing me? Why don't you hear that I'm alive and well? And I said, wait a minute. And I got two words, little children, the two words that changed my life. And the two words are he lives. Children of light, the voice of truth lives. He lives. He lives. He lives. He doesn't live in a book. He's not found in the Bible, but he's found in the Spirit. The voice of truth lives. The voice of truth lives. Jesus lives. Jesus lives. The voice of truth lives. And he said, hear the of life, be filled, be made alive. The voice of truth lives. 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 And that's faith, that's real. That's faith, that's real. His voice is alive and it's real. He lives in me. He's found inside of the heart. Faith that's real is on the heart, little children. Hear his voice. His voice lives.